name is David Shelby, and I am a student at CityUniversity of Seattle. I'm in the School of Applied Leadership working on my Doctorate of Business Administration. And this video is for Research Class 617, Research Fundamentals. Module 3 assignment, Topic and Problem Statement assignment. What prompted me to do the research that I'm doing for this assignment was my client experience survey, and as you can see on the screen, I got a bunch of smiley faces and then I got 2 frowny faces. And when I opened up the frowny faces, both of them said that because I had a net promoter score, an NPS score, that was negative or low, that they would not give me a happy face. And when I looked into it even more, just because I had these 2 frowny faces on my client survey results, it really put down the NPS score as being low, under, I think it was like 67%. If you remove them, I would have 100%. So I wanted to look into see how reliable this sort of information is. I did find out that the first frowny face that you're seeing, the client who did the survey lied. They basically said I didn't know what I was doing. They wouldn't recommend people to come to the company I work for. And in fact, when my manager called up the client said that they didn't want to come into the office to discuss it. They just didn't think I knew what I was doing. And my manager is saying, I'm looking at the work that David did, and it's simple work. I'm not seeing anything wrong with it, and yet the client still insisted they weren't happy. The other frowny face that I have here is because the client said that they were not happy that I wouldn't teach them how I do my job, so they don't have to pay me to do it, so they could do it themselves. It's kind of like saying I wouldn't teach them how to mow the grass, so that way then they could mow their own grass. And my manager said, well, I have to still call them, and that was the results of the conversation, that they said that they came in there to learn how to do my job so they could do it themselves, and just refused to give a good Net Promoter Score. The Net Promoter Score is to improve your ability to serve clients the way they want to be served. The Net Promoter Score at the company I work for is the most important, as the survey question is, how likely are you going to return? And the other part of the survey, and the key word is recommend. If you don't recommend us or you're not likely to return, you get a low Net Promoter Score. Sometimes, it didn't happen this year, but last year I got a couple of low Net Promoter Scores because they said the price was too expensive, that they were not likely to return because we charged too much. Now, of course, that's not my fault. I'm not the one who's setting the rates for the clients. It's the company that sets the rates. I went on to Google Scholar to start looking for the Net Promoter Score, just to see how I could find out more information about it. It generated 16,700 results. I also went into the CityUniversity library looking for the Net Promoter Score, and the reliability of client experience survey for new customers is what I looked for, and that generated 2,991 results. So my final question went all the way down to the topic that I'm searching is how reliable is the Net Promoter Score of a client experience survey for new customers. I found 3 articles, and my first article is up on the screen right now. Here's a summary of the 3 articles that I found on Net Promoter Score. The Net Promoter Score was introduced by Fred Recheld. In a 2003 article, Recheld explains the reason why this score is the most important customer survey score is it shows customer loyalty and more likely to grow the company. Many companies use and rely on the NPS score. However, research shows that even a slight amount of naysaying response of returning to or recommending the business will tip the scales in an unfavorable manner, even if the other survey response on the same survey were positive. So even if a customer had a positive experience but responds they are not likely to return, this would negatively weigh heavy on the overall score. This would also harm several scores of several surveys combined. The key question is, how likely is it that you would recommend Company X to a friend or colleague? Recheld, 2003. Christensen and Eskilsson, 2014, state that there is no way of basing rating scale of customers' loyalty without knowing the reason, which means businesses cannot use just a quantitative survey. It must also include qualitative. Further, no research has been done on financial performance of an organization. Research concluded that NPS is a very poor predictor of customer loyalty. Christensen and Eskeldsen. McIntosh, 2015, starts off by saying that the Net Promoter Score is important for increasing recommendations and bringing in new clients. Research shows that a customer is more likely to pass around complaints than compliments. Without some way of measuring the customer's experience, you do not know if a customer is going to recommend a company or say bad things about a company. To find out, you have to conduct a customer survey that includes a Net Promoter Score, NPS. Not only should a NPS show recommendations, but include the customer's own personal experience. NPS relies on a client's leaving truthful feedback. Some clients may feel retaliation and not leave feedback that is truthfully reflects the customer's experience. The right NPS system uses a score between 1 to 10, a 1 being the lowest. An NPS score of 9 or 10 means the client is more likely to be loyal. A score of 6 or lower is classified as a detractor. Customer loyalty can be used to set SMART objectives. SMART objectives are goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Research has shown that a good NPS score reflects back on good customer satisfaction that results in revenue growth. Studies have shown that the most important reason for choosing a business is convenience followed by word of mouth. A business grows when a client is likely to recommend, and a good NPS score proves this. The Net Promoter Score is widely used by businesses to determine the quality of services being provided between a business and its customers. It is a good tool for measuring customer feedback. Word of mouth spreads recommendations as well as avoidance. One NPS problem is not the quality of service being provided, but the actual service. No one is going to recommend stomach surgery to remove a tumor. NPS can be used as a good customer experience metric that reflects back on how a customer is going to discuss their experience with the business to their friends and family members. As an example of an NPS question a service provider may use within a customer survey is, how likely are you going to recommend our services to your friends and family if they need similar care or treatment? This is known as the Friends and Family Test. The quality of service determines if someone will purchase, repurchase, and recommend. Thus, NPS measures two important measures: if the client is likely to return, and if the client is likely to recommend to others the company, which in turn promotes growth. In conclusion, the Client Experience Survey measures that my company uses is a qualitative and quantitative-based reporting tool. Quantitatively, the responses the customer provides are on a scale between 1 to 5, although Reichheld recommends a scale 1 to 10. With my company, anything below a 4, so 3, 2, or 1, is a detractor alert, 1 being the worst. If a client reacts to the NPS question negatively, the survey will then ask the customer to explain why they are giving a low score. Now it goes from a quantitative into a qualitative, and the customer has to respond, or the client has to respond why they gave the score in writing. The office manager is alerted to the detractor via an email. The client's comments are then read, why they gave a negative score, and the manager has to contact, or at least try to contact the client and talk things over with them to see if there's ways we can improve, or what did I do wrong for them to receive the negative score. The district general manager is required to review all detractors, and the manager's follow-up at the company I work for is more focused on the NPS score for new clients likely to return, and for returning clients likely to recommend. My name is David Shelby. Thank you for watching my video, and I wish you a nice day.